Have you ever reacted in a way that surprised even you, wondering why such small moments felt overwhelmingly emotional? Sometimes the answers aren't found in adulthood. They quietly begin during childhood, shaping habits that feel completely normal today. These behaviors don't necessarily mean something is wrong with you. Often they were brilliant survival strategies that once kept you safe. As children, we adapt to our environment without realizing those adaptations may continue guiding our lives decades later. Today, we'll explore 10 everyday behaviors that could reflect emotional patterns formed long before you understood your own feelings. Behavior 1. You constantly expect something to go wrong. Do you always double-check everything, create backup plans, or imagine worst-case scenarios before anything even happens? Being prepared is healthy, but constantly anticipating disaster can quietly drain your energy without you even noticing. Children raised in unpredictable environments often learn that staying alert feels safer than simply relaxing into the present moment. Your brain wasn't trying to make life harder, it was trying to protect you from unexpected emotional pain. As adults, that protective instinct may remain active, even when the danger that created it no longer exists. Behavior 2. Compliments feel uncomfortable. Someone sincerely praises your work, yet your first instinct is to explain it away or minimize your achievement. Instead of saying, "Thank you," you might joke, change the subject, or convince yourself they don't really mean it. For some people, receiving praise feels unfamiliar because approval during childhood depended heavily on performance or perfect behavior. Over time, success begins feeling temporary, making genuine appreciation surprisingly difficult to fully accept or believe. Learning to receive kindness without questioning it can become an important step toward rebuilding lasting self-worth. Behavior 3. You're always reading everyone's mood. You instantly notice subtle changes in someone's voice, facial expression, or body language before anyone else seems aware. Without realizing it, you begin adjusting your own behavior to keep the atmosphere calm and comfortable. This sensitivity can develop when emotional safety once depended on accurately predicting another person's changing moods. Your awareness becomes incredibly sharp, but it may come at the cost of ignoring your own emotional needs. Healthy empathy includes caring for others without constantly sacrificing your own sense of peace and security. Behavior 4. You minimize your own pain. When life feels difficult, do you quickly remind yourself that someone else has it much worse than you? Perspective is valuable, but constantly dismissing your own struggles can leave emotional wounds hidden instead of healed. Some children grow up believing their feelings are inconvenient, dramatic, or simply not important enough to express. As adults, they often comfort everyone else first, while quietly convincing themselves their own pain doesn't deserve attention. Your experiences don't need to be compared with anyone else's before they become worthy of compassion and understanding. Behavior 5. You constantly seek reassurance. Even after making a decision, do you still ask several people whether you made the right choice? Deep inside, you may already know the answer, yet trusting your own judgment feels surprisingly uncomfortable. This pattern can develop when your opinions were regularly ignored, criticized, or replaced by someone else's decisions. Over time, confidence becomes outsourced, making outside approval feel safer than listening to your own inner voice. Rebuilding self-trust begins with making small choices and allowing yourself to believe they are enough. Behavior 6. You feel like you're never enough. No matter how much you accomplish, satisfaction disappears quickly, and another impossible standard suddenly takes its place. One mistake can erase 10 successes, leaving you focused only on what still feels incomplete. Children who receive inconsistent affection often grow into adults constantly chasing a sense of worth that never feels secure. Perfection isn't always about achievement. Sometimes it's an attempt to finally feel accepted without conditions. Your value isn't measured by flawless performance. It has always existed beyond anything you accomplish. Behavior 7. You avoid conflict at almost any cost. Do you often stay silent during disagreements, even when something feels unfair or deeply important to you? Keeping the peace can feel safer than expressing your true thoughts, especially if conflict once felt emotionally overwhelming. For some people, agreeing with others became a survival strategy rather than a reflection of their genuine opinions. Over time, saying yes to everyone else may slowly become saying no to yourself without realizing it. Healthy relationships don't require you to disappear. They create space where different opinions can exist without fear. Behavior 8. Asking for help feels uncomfortable. Even when you're exhausted, you tell yourself you'll handle everything alone because asking feels strangely uncomfortable. Independence is valuable, but carrying every burden by yourself can become emotionally and physically exhausting. If your needs were often ignored growing up, depending on others may have started feeling risky or disappointing. Eventually, needing support begins to feel like weakness instead of something every human naturally experiences. Real strength isn't doing everything alone. It's knowing when allowing someone to help is the healthiest choice. Behavior 9. You stay busy to avoid being alone with your thoughts. Your schedule stays full. Your phone stays busy, yet quiet moments often feel strangely uncomfortable instead of peaceful. The moment everything becomes silent, anxious thoughts or difficult emotions may quietly begin rising to the surface. For some people, constant busyness becomes a distraction from feelings that never had a safe place to be expressed. Slowing down can feel unfamiliar because your mind learned that staying occupied was the safest way to cope. Stillness isn't something to fear. Sometimes it's the first place where genuine healing quietly begins. Behavior 10. You believe love must be earned. Do you constantly give your time, energy, and attention, hoping others will appreciate or choose to stay with you? You may find yourself saying yes too often because disappointing someone feels far more frightening than exhausting yourself. When affection once depended on being helpful, successful, or well-behaved, love can begin feeling like something you must earn. Healthy relationships don't require endless proving. They value your presence, not just everything you do for others. You deserve kindness simply because you exist, not because you've perfectly met someone else's expectations. If several of these behaviors felt familiar, remember they don't define you. They simply tell part of your life story. Many of these patterns began as creative ways to adapt to situations you couldn't control or fully understand as a child. The challenge is that survival strategies don't always disappear when life becomes safer. They often continue running automatically. The encouraging news is that awareness is the first step toward change. You can't heal what you never recognize. Each time you choose self-compassion over self-criticism, you're teaching your brain that the present is different from the past. Healing doesn't mean forgetting your childhood. It means refusing to let yesterday's pain make today's decisions for you. Progress isn't measured by becoming perfect. It's measured by responding with greater kindness, confidence, and emotional freedom each day. If these patterns have significantly affected your daily life or relationships, consider speaking with a qualified mental health professional for guidance. You deserve relationships where you feel accepted for who you are, not only for what you accomplish or provide. Which behavior resonated with you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments. And remember, healing is possible one step at a time.
Stop chasing motivation. Start understanding your mind. Subscribe to Inner Violet and learn how to think, not just react.